Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a reading for the collective for this lunar eclipse in Virgo that is happening today. So because this is a collective reading, I'm doing it with my big combined deck of tarot cards and astrological oracle cards. So you see both of them in your reading today. In this spread for the collective, there are only tarot cards here, although the bottom of the deck is already peeking through, and it's wanting to be a participant of this conversation, of this message, and it is a card from the astrological oracle deck. So we're going to get there, but I feel like this lunar eclipse, because it is a total lunar eclipse, I feel like it's showing a lot that we are, in the collective that we are ready to see. But from a very human perspective, a very earthly perspective, because Virgo is the sign that represents Mother Earth. And, in and of itself, just the fact that we are having this lunar eclipse in Virgo, I feel very, it's like very noticeably the shift in my own body. I don't know if this is something that is just me going through this eclipse very intensely. Yesterday I woke up in the middle of the night, and the moon was just about to be completely covered by the earth, right? So this lunar eclipse being this opposition between the sun and the moon. In fact, these two cards are here in this reading, and I feel like we are talking very significantly about this phase of this shadow of the moon, which reveals a lot about our life here on earth. So I do feel like there is a sense of communicating with your higher self in a very potent way, but doing so in a very subtle way at first, and then it becomes something very tangible, very real, very recognizable. So let's begin, because this is a very deep one. So we're beginning here with the moon. Of course, she's here, right? So it is a reading for the lunar eclipse, and the moon is here. And, as I said, the sun is coming right after. Well, not exactly after, but it's coming in the next row of 3 cards. So the moon is opening this collective reading, and it's talking about, that moment when you wake up in the middle of the night and the lights are all off, so you cannot see anything with your human eyes. So you have to almost like move around using your sixth sense. This is what this moon is talking about. And I feel like this is because, whenever we have a full moon in the night sky, it is a blazing light, right? It's almost like this lighthouse that shows us the way, that illuminates the darkness of the night, right? But when we have an eclipse, then we have this shadow that is being cast over this full moon. And because it is, this blood full moon, it's the lunar eclipse, the total lunar eclipse, it is casting a shadow. So we are being forced, or even maybe I should say, we're being called to really improve, perfect our sixth sense, right? Virgo talks about this honing a skill. It's reminding me of another reading that was called Honing Your Clairaudience. I think it was a reading for Cancer. So yeah, the moon here, well, the moon is the ruler for Cancer, right? So it makes sense. So the moon is inviting the whole collective for this pruning, for this perfecting, for this, it's like this very conscious harnessing of this intuition, harnessing of this sixth sense. But it has the purpose of moving around, right? Specifically because it's almost like in the middle of the night, there is a mission, and the mission is to cross. It's to, the Six of Pentacles here is showing as a bridge, but it's not any bridge. It's actually being very detailed in its shape, in its form, and it has steps. So it's reminding me, actually, I've never been to Venice, but I've seen pictures, and a friend of mine have told me about these bridges that, it's not an elevation that you just, you know, walk over. It's like you have to climb up a few steps and then, you know, you are over the bridge. But this is what this specific Six of Pentacles is bringing. So that's the reason why I feel like the moon is here, well, encouraging us, enticing us, almost like this lulling, right? The moon being kind of like it's like the mother of the sky, right? It's like lulling us so that we can harness this sixth sense, so that we can do this crossing to the other side, which I feel like it is the realm of the subconscious, the realm of dreams, right? But still being very aware. This is the weird part of this reading, is like being very aware that you are awake. So it's not feeling exactly like sleep paralysis, but because you're not paralyzed, essentially, you're moving. But it's almost like, maybe it's like this very vivid dream. It's like in the middle of the dream, you are aware that you're dreaming, so it feels like you are awake, right? Maybe it could be that way. But there is this purpose of crossing a bridge, and the moment that you climb up these first few steps, and then you are in the middle of the bridge, there comes the higher self. So the Strength card is symbolizing this higher self. And it's interesting because it's bringing the sun. So we have this double sun energy, right? Because if we think of both the Strength and the sun being the representatives of Leo, right? It's like we have this double fire, this double energy of the sun. But before, you know, it's being embodied, or it's showing itself with the face, a recognizable face of your higher self. So this is a presence that you recognize, that you know, that it's not a surprise. It is a big presence, right? But it's not intimidating, or it's not instigating fear. On the contrary, it's here to calm you down, especially because it's being illuminated from behind. So the way that I was seeing the sun was almost like this very big spotlight illuminating this Strength card, the higher self. So all you can see, it's more of its silhouette. But because you know who this is or what this is, you recognize the features, even though mostly what you're seeing is just the outline, just the silhouette. And that's because, in this case, because you're being called to use your sixth sense, to use your intuition, to climb these steps, to cross over this bridge, not expecting what you're going to find or who you're going to meet. However, when this one shows up, it's very clear to me that, first of all, the Six of Pentacles it's symbolizing like a real crossing. So it has this very tangible feeling to it. It's not just your imagination. It's not just you becoming aware of what's been occult or what's been hiding in your subconscious. Imagine this. It's the moon and the sun facing each other, but having the Strength in between. So it's kind of like the same thing that is happening with the eclipse, right? Because in the full moon, we have the sun opposite the moon, the same way that we have here. But in between, we have the earth that is casting a shadow over the moon. So it's almost like the higher self is the major arcana representative of what's in between the sun and the moon. So, and it is perfect that it is that way, because the sun that is shining from behind, it's illuminating the silhouette of this Strength, right? Of this higher self in a way that you haven't seen before. So it's almost like shining a light on yourself, right? Because it's your higher self. So it is you, but it's just a higher version of yourself, maybe a wiser version of yourself. It's like you having a different perspective about your own light. And actually, because, you know, imagine this casting of a shadow, it is exactly what reveals your strength. So in a sense, your higher self is the shadow figure that is being illuminated by the sun that is behind. And that's the reason why the moon here is calling you to use your sixth sense to identify what is this strength, or what is this figure, who is this higher self of yours. It's like you, because you already have this intuition very honed in, very it's like very well known or developed. It's like maybe the more you work on, using this sixth sense to, walk around your home, walk around maybe, if this is a dream space, it's like become aware of where you're at, right? And where you're going, paying attention to your steps, the climbing of the staircase, right? That leads to the bridge. So it's like this meeting is incredibly significant. And I feel like there's this moment that it's wordless. It's interesting because when I was shuffling the cards, the very first 4 cards, the ones that I just showed you, they came very, very fast. They came after one after the other. The bottom row, it took a little longer because I feel like this interaction, this meeting of you and your higher self, it's such a potent meeting that it doesn't require any sort of direct interaction. It's almost like this exchange of energy, this it's like this natural recognition of who and what you are, seeing yourself from within, right? From your own internal perspective, but also recognizing yourself as this other, which is right in front of you. So it is a very deep and profound interaction, meeting. But then after, these first few minutes or however long it takes, because, in dreams, time, it's just an illusion. I feel like the bottom row here is actually the strength, your higher self, giving you a mission, giving you instructions, very clear instructions on how to co-create something. And it's fascinating because to me, all I see, it's like the potential for co-creation. But I'm sure that, if you are resonating with it, with this message of meeting your higher self, either in your dream or, in a wake state during the night, this feels such a powerful experience, such a powerful encounter, that it's like you will make no mistake that there are clear instructions being delivered, right? So this is unique to each and every one of you. It's almost like each and every one of you are going to have specific instructions, because each higher self has something particular to say to each of you, right? Here I'm seeing kind of like this general view of this potential to co-create, because it is the purpose of this meeting, right? So first we have the 3 of Wands, and then we have the Ace of Swords, which is the direction forward, and then we have the 3 of Pentacles. And actually we're ending here with a 4th card that came together with the 3 of Pentacles. But I just want to point to these 3 together. Well, first of all, because, we have 2 3s bracketing 3 cards, the Ace in the middle. So the Ace is the 3rd card, is the element that gives momentum. It's giving the direction. It's giving like this, it's almost like it's correcting the compass is how I'm feeling. It's like giving you the clear north, right? It's like it's kind of like the North Star, but it's it's coming from this one, right? It's not any constellation. It's like it's a being, it's an entity, right? So maybe it's coming through as like a word or an intention, right? So this is the clear direction forward, but it goes from the 3 of Wands, which is this potential in the energetic level, to the physical potential, right? So it's kind of like the potential to co-create that is already here. It's almost like it is already in formation. The cells are multiplying. Sometimes I see that with this suit. The cells are starting to multiply. So it's kind of like the co-creation has already started, but it needs to go in the right direction. It needs to be corrected. It's like the compass needs to be corrected, and that's the reason why they are showing up so powerfully. Otherwise, it's almost like they wouldn't need to it's not intervene, but something like that. It's like to show up and, you know, give clear directions, because it's so close to manifesting in the physical reality, right? That it's like this doesn't it cannot have kind of like a detours, or it cannot have how do I say this? It cannot have almost like it's like room for mistake, but it's not exactly that. I don't feel like it would be mistaken or missed, right? This direction. However, it's like you just to make sure that you are receiving the instructions in a very clear way, because it's so close to manifesting. It's like, know that you have this potential to co-create, and, you know, pay attention to the word, because it is a co-creation. It's not something that you're meant to do by yourself. Yes, there is a specificity that is unique to each and every one of you. However, it's a collective reading. It's meant to be co-created together. Maybe, you know, your specific direction, your specific mission has to do with one specific goal, one specific thing. However, it's meant to be done or manifested, brought to life in a very tangible way with others, right? Specifically with the Three of Pentacles, it is a collaboration, right? And I feel like it has to do with meeting up with a mentor, with a teacher, because we're ending here with another major arcana, and this is the teacher, right? The Hierophant here is coming through as the new teacher. So it's interesting because I feel like you receive this very clear instruction, either in a dream or, you know, this past night, or, you know, sometime around this this time of the lunar eclipse, to, it's almost like to honor this higher self, right? It's like this higher self is coming in and presenting itself, approaching you in a very big way, in a very honorable way, to give clear instructions about a potential that is about to manifest. It's very, very close. So in order to do that, it's almost like they know that if you follow this instruction, this direction, the potential to co-create here that is already in the making, right? At least in this energetic field that is about to take shape, it's actually going to be facilitated by the teacher, because the Hierophant is connected to Taurus, right? So Taurus is the one who builds things, right? To bring things into this physical reality, it needs kind of like the expertise, the resources, the knowledge, the it's like the know-how, right? That this teacher has. So that's the reason why I feel like energetically this is a very, very big presence. However, they have almost like they have a collaborator, right? It's like the Hierophant is collaborating with the higher self to make this a reality. So this is the manifestation, right? This is the potential that is manifesting with this lunar eclipse. So it's kind of like, go seek this one. It's like the co-creation is meant to be together with this Hierophant, whomever they are. It's like they're going to have kind of like the technical sides of it, the technical knowledge to help bring this into this. And it's interesting because it's not giving me much besides all of that it said right now. But I feel like it has to do with the bottom of the deck, which, as I said, is already peeking through. So we have a card from the Astrological Oracle deck, which is Jupiter. So Jupiter here is talking about making it big. And I feel like this is the role of this Hierophant. If the Hierophant was not here, you would still follow the instruction given by your higher self, right? So going in this direction to co-create something that has, a very big potential that is already in the making. However, when this one enters the scene and enters to be a participant, collaborator in this co-creation, it feels like it just expands things very, very widely, very broadly. Because, the major arcana, and it's interesting, there is a balance here. So the moon, the strength, the sun, and the hierophant. So we have 4 major arcana, and we also have 4 minor arcana. And now we have this oracle card, which is kind of like the potential to take things from the minor arcana realm to the major arcana realm, right? Jupiter being the biggest planet in the sky. And I feel like it has to do with this momentum. It's like, in following this direction, this co-creation, it is already being birthed. But with the help of this one, whomever they are, it's like it can go really, really big. So, yeah, I feel like it's going to be very, very specific to each and every one of you. I'm just seeing like this huge potential. I don't know how to explain that, but it's like this wave of energy that it's almost like this big bang, right? It's like another big bang of the universe, but here happening in this 3D realm. So however that is going to play out in your life, I feel like it's going to be such a unique path, a unique co-creation. So please let me know if you resonated with this, and if this is making sense, because I would love to see how this is coming to be, how this is actually taking shape in this real world, since I'm not being given much, right? Apart from the general view, as I said. So I am going to pull more cards for you in the extended reading. Also, I'm going to pull from the astrological runes over there. So if you want to join me, I'm very, oh my God, I can't speak right now. I'll be very happy to see you there. You can find link down below. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.